NCLEX Practice Test 2026 National Council Licensure Examination, Full Course Scoring and Retakes. Question 1. How many days must a candidate wait to retake the NCLEX after a failed attempt? 30 days. 45 days. 60 days. 90 days. The NCSBN policy requires a 45-day waiting period between exams. Question 2. Which scoring method is used for Select All That Apply, SATA, questions in 2026? All or Nothing. Plus/scoring. 0/1 scoring. Rationale scoring. Next Gen NCLEX uses plus// scoring for multiple response items, allowing partial credit. Question 3. What is the maximum number of times a candidate can take the NCLEX in 1 year? 4 times. 6 times. 8 times. Unlimited. Candidates can take the NCLEX up to 8 times per year, provided they wait 45 days between attempts. Question 4. Which unit is used to measure the passing standard for the NCLEX? Percentage. Raw score. Logit. Percentile. NCLEX uses logits to compare candidate ability to question difficulty. Question 5. How many unscored pre-test items are included in every NCLEX exam? 5, 10. 15, 20. The NCLEX includes 15 unscored pre-test items to evaluate them for future use. Question 6. What happens when the computer is 95% certain that the candidate's ability is above the passing standard? The exam continues to the maximum questions. The exam ends and the candidate passes. The exam pauses for a break. The candidate is given a bonus case study. The 95% confidence interval rule stops the exam once the pass/fail result is certain. Question 7. What is the minimum number of scored questions a candidate will face on the NCLEX RN? 60-70. 75-85. The minimum number of scored items is 70, plus 15 pre-test items for a total of 85. Question 8. Which item type uses rationale scoring? Multiple choice. Drop-down closed dyad. SATA. Hotspot. Rationale scoring, 0, 1, or 2 points, applies to items requiring paired information, example dyads/triads. Question 9. What is the purpose of the Candidate Performance Report, CPR? To list the exact questions missed. To provide feedback on performance in each content area. To serve as a license. To schedule the next exam. The CPR helps failing candidates understand their strengths and weaknesses in the client needs categories. Question 10. Which technology does the NCLEX use to adapt the difficulty of questions to the candidate? Static testing. Computerized Adaptive Testing, CAT. Random sampling. Linear testing. CAT selects questions based on the candidate's previous answers to determine their ability level. Question 11. If the exam reaches the maximum number of questions, how is the final result determined? By the percentage of correct answers. By the difficulty level of the final question. By the candidate's final ability estimate relative to the standard. By a random draw. The final ability estimate is compared to the passing standard once the maximum items are reached. Question 12. True or false, the NCLEX is a timed exam? True. False. The NCLEX has a maximum time limit, typically 5 hours. Question 13. What is the current passing standard logit for the NCLEX RN? 0.00 minus 0.18. Plus 0.18. 1.00. The current NCLEX RN passing standard is 0.00 logits. Question 14. Which organization develops the NCLEX? ANA, NCSBN, NLN, Pearson VU. The National Council of State Boards of Nursing, NCSBN, develops the exam. Question 15. Who sends the official results to the candidate? The testing center. The NCSBN. The Nursing Regulatory Body, NRB. Pearson VU. Official results come from the candidate state/provincial board of nursing, NRB. Question 16. What is the maximum length exam rule? The exam ends after 5 hours regardless of score. The exam ends when all questions in the bank are used. The exam ends when the maximum number of items is reached and a decision is made. The exam ends if the candidate takes too long on one question. When the maximum items are reached, the final ability estimate determines the result. Question 17. In plus/scoring, what is the lowest possible score for a single question? -5. -1. 0.1. If the total score for a question is negative, it is rounded up to 0. Question 18. Which scoring rule applies to multiple choice questions? Plus/scoring. 0/1 scoring. Rationale scoring. Partial credit. Standard multiple choice questions are scored as 0, incorrect, or 1, correct. Question 19. How often does the NCSBN review the NCLEX test plan? Every year. Every 2 years. Every 3 years. Every 5 years. The test plan is reviewed every 3 years, example 2023, 2026. Question 20. What is the first step to take if you fail the NCLEX? Register with Pearson VU immediately. Contact your NRB to notify them of your intent to retake. Wait 90 days. Apply for a different license. Candidates must first contact their nursing regulatory body to establish eligibility for a retake.